we're finally getting some hints as to how this Genesis bankruptcy, if it will proceed, how Digital Currency Group is dealing with it, which companies they might be looking to sell. It's not blatant information, but if you look hard enough, you can see some activity happening that's going to give it away, I think. Also, Sam Bankman-Fried is learning that hindsight is 20/20, and he's telling us exactly his thoughts and what he's learned so far. If you guys are enjoying these videos, hit like, hit subscribe. We're putting out videos every day, trying our best to keep you up to date on everything that's happening on this cryptocurrency space. There's a ton going on, especially as of late. But if you guys want even more information on what we're doing with our cryptocurrencies and why, you got to check out the CT Club. A link for it is down below in the video description. So right off the bat, do you remember when I was telling you, what was this, like already 2 weeks ago, over 2 weeks ago now, Sam Bankman-Fried, there was accusations coming out that he'd actually designed a backdoor for the trading of FTX so that he could make secret transactions to his sister company, run by his girlfriend, Alameda Research, without other FTX employees knowing, without there ever being a record of it. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried is saying, I couldn't make a backdoor. I don't know how to code. Okay, but I'm sure there's some that he could have paid to do it for him. He thinks we are very stupid. It's really easy now for him to make other claims like this one, saying that 8 minutes after he declared bankruptcy for FTX, 8 minutes later only, right on the line, $4 billion became liquid so that he could have facilitated customer withdrawals and people could have gotten their funds back, and it all just would have been perfect. 8 minutes is all the difference between FTX collapsing and people getting their funds back. That's how much on the line he was willing to risk his whole company and millions of people and billions of dollars of investors' funds and of users' funds on the line. He gave himself 8 minutes. That's how erratic and irresponsible he was with his user funds. He's trying to say like it was a tragedy, like it was so close, everything could have been perfect. But you know what? If that $4 billion would have come in sooner, before he declared bankruptcy, I guarantee you he would have pissed it away some other crappy investment that he could never think of. They already lost $10 billion. What's another 4, right? Now let's get into the indirect news coming out about Genesis. There's people coming out of the woodwork approaching the creditors to buy their debt owed by Genesis. There's people that want to buy it probably for pennies on the dollar so that the creditors can get some kind of payment, and these people who are trying to buy the debt are going to take that on and willing to wait the years that it would take for them to get repaid for that debt. So what is Genesis doing? They have not officially announced yet if they are declaring bankruptcy or not, but now that the news is coming out that the creditors are being approached by people to buy their debt, and now CoinDesk, which is another company owned by Digital Currency Group. Again, Digital Currency Group is the umbrella parent company of Genesis, Grayscale, CoinDesk, and 134 other, most of them are very big names in this cryptocurrency space. And so what we're trying to look at is to see how can Digital Currency Group save Genesis, because Genesis is a huge lending and custody platform for institutional investors in cryptocurrency. So are they going to be selling CoinDesk? Because now it looks like there's offers for CoinDesk to be bought out. A lot of people are wondering, what can DCG do to save Genesis and therefore Grayscale? They say, oh, other companies are worthless. They don't have anything. They don't have any assets. They have 134 companies that they could sell, and they're not free. So there's something, I think, in the works there. They're trying their best not to declare bankruptcy, basically. Also, I want to mention what's happening with the FTX hacker. Apparently, they have sent coins to a centralized exchange, OKX. And how do we know that it was the hacker, that these funds were involved in the FTX hack? Because Zach XBT, a person on Twitter who's classic for calling people out for his investigations in cryptocurrency, I'll just say that. And apparently he was able to figure out through the coin mixer that the hacker used, he was able to trace these coins from the hack to now OKX exchange. Do you hear what is wrong with this sentence? Someone was able to track coins from a coin mixer. Number one, which coin mixer was it? And it must not be a very good one because someone was able to trace it. So keep that in mind for anyone who is trying to use coin mixers. They're not all good. They're not all very effective. And furthermore, the less people who use coin mixers, the less private they are, because if you want to be anonymous, you want to be anonymous in a giant crowd. You don't want to be anonymous by yourself, standing in the middle of a street saying, hey, I'm anonymous. Like, it's pretty easy to track those coins from that point. And lastly, again, I mentioned in the previous video how Binance was very similar to Mt. Gox potentially, and now it's happening with Alameda Research and their holdings of Solana. Remember, they had over 13% of the Solana circulating supply. That's like $643 million worth of Solana at these prices. That's pretty low price, so it's only going to go up from here maybe if Solana can recover. But anyway, that amount of Solana is now in control of the liquidators of the whole bankruptcy proceedings from Alameda Research. So it's setting up to be a very similar situation to the funds recovered from Mt. Gox and that FUD over Bitcoin. Whenever there's news of the Mt. Gox coins being unleashed onto the market, people freak out and they think it's going to crash the price of Bitcoin. Now, granted, I know this. There is a huge difference between Solana and Bitcoin, but I just think that this is going to be serving as yet another source of FUD for Solana for years to come if it continues to survive. So keep that in mind for anyone who's investing. It might be a rough road ahead for Solana because I think whether they like it or not, they are intimately tied into and getting drug into the negativity of this FTX debacle. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.